How do you know if you are truly alive? I can tell you that staying in your room all day playing Fortnite sure as hell doesn't mean you're alive. In the end, we all die. There is nothing you can do about it. But do you want to live a good life? Of course. I watched a movie recently that tries to answer this question of being alive. What does that even mean? The movie was called I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Yes, this name sounds extremely dumb, but hear me out. This is an anime that will make you cry mainly tears. I watched it recently and I will not lie, I almost shed some tears, but I held them back, of course. The story is one of understanding what life is about and will answer the question of what it means to be alive. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas will break your heart. The story follows two people, Haruki and Sakura. Haruki is a teenager who has no friends, no life, no bitches. He thinks lowly of himself and lacks self-confidence. His only hobby is reading. Sakura is the exact opposite. She's very bubbly, kind, and an outgoing person. She has lots of friends and her life is amazing. Except there's one thing. She is going to die. She has a pancreatic disease where she only has a few years left to live. No one knows except her parents. Her way to cope with this is by writing a diary called Living with Dying. Probably should have been the title of the movie, but who cares? One day Haruki is in a hospital and he finds this diary on the ground and he starts reading it and he gets confronted by Sakura. Sakura tells him that she is dying with pancreatic disease. And his response? He didn't care, and he walks away like a true Sigma male. He shows no sign of empathy towards her. This is where Haruki's arc begins, learning to care. His current path is the opposite of Sakura's. Sakura is trying to live with death, while Haruki is dying while living. Haruki views himself as the victim. He plays a game where he imagines what people think of him, never asking the people if it's true or not. And because of this, he believes people don't like him. How sad. He tries to act like this doesn't bother him, but of course it does. Sakura takes a liking to him for some reason. He spends some time with Sakura, and after hanging out a few times and starts to open up bit by bit, he asks if she is really going to die. If he can show empathy, if he can show that he cares about this relationship that they have, then he can acknowledge the value of life. This isn't easy for Haruki. He spent his whole life trying to hide and ignore everyone, to not have value for anyone or even himself. Sakura ramming into his life changes everything for him. Sakura is the one who shows him what it means to be alive. And that is the big question here. And no one knows it better than Sakura. This girl knows she's going to die soon, but she makes the difficult decision to keep going, to keep living. She wants to show Haruki this. They hang out constantly and even go on a trip where they play truth or dare. And on that trip, they both open up about their lives and experiences. Haruki starts to understand what it means to be alive. As Haruki begins to understand life and begins to actually live, Sakura continues to die. This is extremely conflicting to him. He refuses to call her by her name because that would add more humanity to their relationship. Haruki acknowledged that Sakura is dying. How can he really live knowing the only person who tried to reach out to him is going to die soon? He doesn't want to be hurt, but he can't help it. The moment he showed empathy was the moment he changed. Sakura once asked what his response would be if she said she was scared to die. He changes the subject immediately. Later on though, he does tell her that he wants her to live. In the end, she does die, but not in the way you think. It wasn't her disease that killed her. It was being murdered, and it's heartbreaking. This hits everyone incredibly hard, especially Haruki. So now, how is he supposed to move forward? All the things that he did with her meant nothing, right? No. Sakura's impact continues to live on. Because of her, he goes from not caring about anyone, when he really does, to caring for himself and building relationships. In the beginning, he viewed himself as an outcast, but slowly, friendship is offered to him. He keeps declining it until he finally learns to accept and enjoy it. A year passes and he is learning what it means to be alive, and he only learned this from death. Sakura's death, as part of Sakura's will before she planned on dying. Sakura's diary was passed on to him. In a way, Sakura's diary became his diary, and now it's his turn to live with death. Life is not always fair. There are little setbacks and life-altering ones, but it's all about how you adapt and overcome them. Despite how shitty things are, Haruki chose the hardest path, to move forward. He will never forget Sakura. He understands that if he were to go back to how he was before, it would be a disgrace to Sakura. He now accepts friendship. His relationships with others are what made him who he is. No longer dying with living. Now he can live with death. Sakura showed him this. He took a leap of faith and decided that just maybe there can be some type of meaning to this thing called life. Thank you all for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit like and subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to leave a comment down below, or if you have any other suggestions for videos, be sure to let me know. I'm MoeFoeGenius, and I'm signing off.